Our ship had taken a beating, and no one can tell me where we are. Our nav officer is down and probably won't survive his wounds. My second is already dead, his head smashed in by a console that detached when we were hit by the first missile salvo. My own head was reeling from the successive slipspace jumps we just made. The first jump was to arrive at our destination. The second was to escape the ambush that awaited us. The second jump was the problem. It had been done out of desperation. We jumped blind and without shields. We have multiple hull breaches. Our faster-than-light drive is offline and our engines aren't responding, sir. The panic in the voice of Luna, my head of engineering, was palpable. Evacuate and seal the breached sectors. Initiate distress protocol and try to find out where we are, I managed to say through gritted teeth. This was supposed to be a simple scouting mission, some warp irregularities we were supposed to scan and report back on. Our shields didn't even have a chance to spool up before we were fired on by those Omni-Union bastards. We had been hit hard, and the additional strain of an unshielded warp likely caused even more damage. Sir, the ship that hit us was a destroyer class, my intel officer Kryn informed me. There's no way they were there by chance. That's not good, I replied. We need to inform the Republic as soon as we can. Speaking of which, where are we on a location? Kryn grimaced. Judging from our flight path, we're far beyond our borders. That's also not good. Well, we're also outside the OU's borders, so it could be worse. Probably. I'll have more info when our sensors come back online. Jumping unshielded desynchronized them. Kryn frowned as she glanced at the nav panel across the bridge. My nav officer, Kron, had been taken to the medbay. Kryn and Kron were hatchmates, siblings that burst into the world simultaneously. It's said they have an unshakable bond, and from what I've seen, that holds up. The odds of both being assigned to the same ship were slim to none, but they somehow made it happen. Their playful banter made the long treks into deep space less exhausting. I hope Kron makes it. His quick thinking saved us. He had already calculated a blind jump by the time I gave the order. Luna interrupted my chain of thought. Shiphead, I have a more comprehensive damage report. Let's hear it. We're in a bad way. We have hull breaches in engineering, life support, and the living quarters. These areas have been sealed off until we can enact repairs, but that will require a spacewalk. Luna grimaced. We've lost a lot of gas, and the pressurized reserves might not be enough to fully repressurize those sectors. Understood. As long as we don't have leaks, you can take your time formulating a plan. Not too long, though, or we'll run out of rations. I smiled at my little joke. Luna didn't. We also have no propulsion or shields. Sublights and our FTLD are non-responsive and vacuum exposed. I wouldn't be surprised if we're leaking radiation, but I can't confirm that without our sensors. Our shields are non-functional, and our frame is damaged. We're going to need at least a dry dock for full repairs, but I think it's likely the ship is totaled. This was far from the Loalana's maiden voyage. I had been the ship head for 12 years, but the ship had been in service for at least 30. She started life as a corvette, but is now classified as a frigate. Relatively small for a warship, but faster than most and could pack a punch, as long as we got a swing in at least. The Loalana could fit a crew of up to 50, but operated best with a smaller crew. We departed with a crew of 38, including myself. What's our casualties look like? I said, no longer smiling. Luna looked down at her datapad solemnly. 6 dead, 10 critically injured, 4 unaccounted for. 20 casualties. My heart sank. More than half my crew out of action, and more than a quarter of them dead or MIA. I felt myself spiraling and shook myself out of it. Half is better than all. Keep me updated on the status of the injured and missing. I'll notify the next of kin when we're rescued. Speaking of which, how's the distress signal doing? It's beeping away, shiphead, Kryn said. And our sensors just came back online. We are definitely leaking radiation, Luna. Anyways, I can pinpoint where we are now. Hopefully there's an exploration team within sensor range. The odds of that were low. Ever since the war with the Omni-Union began, the Republic had been more focused on manning warships than exploring the cosmos. For good reason, though. The war wasn't going in our favor. It seemed like for every OU ship we took out, another 3 took their place. We'd managed to keep them out of the core systems, but we were firmly on the defensive. I spoke too soon, Kryn sighed. We're well out of range of anything, Republic. No known life this far out. Looks like we're smack in the middle of a solar system, though. Maybe we can get some supplies for repairs. Let's see. A yellow dwarf sun, 8 planets. Oh, 4 of them are gas giants. No worries about repressurization. I smiled sadly. That's good. Hopefully we can get what we need to limp back to the Fuck, Kryn interrupted me. Shiphead, this solar system is inhabited. What? What? Kryn looked up at me. I'm showing signs of advanced colonization on 2 planets and several moons. Actually, one of the planets looks like a capital world. The entire surface is covered in artificial structures. Also, there are... A proximity alarm pinged. The first 2 notes were the same for every ship that approached. The second 2 determined if it was friend, foe, or unknown. In my 12 years of being shiphead, I had never heard these last 2 notes. Unknown. Luna rushed back to her console. Unknown vessel on approach, Kryn said, baffled. It's absolutely massive, easily twice the size of any battleship I've ever seen. It has shields powered up but doesn't appear to have its weapons armed. Not that we'd necessarily be able to tell, Luna said fearfully. I sat up straight and asked, Are comms online? Yes, sir. Hail them. They're hailing us, sir, Luna said. Do you want me to put them through? I nodded, and Luna set to work opening a channel. The sounds that came through our speakers were nonsensical and guttural. I looked at Luna in confusion. The channel is working. We'll need a minute for the translator to take effect, she explained. The next noise I heard nearly sent me into an early grave from shock. No need for that. We've scanned your logs and extrapolated your language. I am Captain Reynolds of the USS Thanatos. You seem to be in a spot of bother. May we assist? Asked the voice from the speaker. It took me a second to remember how to speak. I am Shiphead Yulina of the RSV Loalana. We come in peace and are in no position to turn down an offer of aid. It shall be done. Prepare to be boarded and welcome to Sol.